gallons of water a minute. So this will take 2 million gallons of water in 9 minutes. Obviously, even at the end of summer, there's still plenty of water to lock boats through. So we're going to go up ahead a little bit further and grab a hold of the lock walls and go back up 18.5 feet.
On the way out, we were on that side.
Notice, if you will, behind us the doors have been closed, but they're still open if you reach. Okay, well that's done intentionally. Or stated differently, but saying the same thing is that we cannot close the doors up tight with the machinery. The only thing that closes the doors up tight will be the weight of the water coming in the lock chamber. The doors are purposely left open a little bit so that we can tell when the water level is equal on both sides. The little bell coming here. Okay, he's opening the valves to flood the lock chamber. Watch the doors get pushed closed behind me. See that? Big up. And here comes the water.
said they're working smoothly from the way the water is flowing the rest of the way.
Just a few more facts about the lock chamber. Look ahead of us, and on each side up there you'll see blue machinery cases with the number 5 on it. Notice on top there are 3 lights. The lights are lit. That means all 3 lights are lit because the valve has been opened up all the way. It's flooding the lock at the maximum rate. If he had a canoe in here, or somebody in a kayak, he would probably open the lock valve up until he only saw 1 light, and then waited until he got about a half a lock full of water before he lifted the valves the rest of the way. That way he would keep the little turbulence down to a minimum and not put anybody in a real small boat in danger. Notice too, that same blue machinery case with the 5 on it has a light bulb in a cage on the inside face. If you look behind us, you'll see the blue machinery cases down there on the south end. And the little light bulb in the cage is on, but the lights on top are off, telling you that the valves behind us are down and sealed. The valves in front of us are opened all the way. Come to a lock in New York State, look at the 4 corners, and it tells you what's going on. Also, in the rear up here, way down on the right side, and up in front of us on the left side, you'll notice a big yellow spoon, which is a large electric winch. They have an electric winch on each end of the lock, on every lock in New York State. Although they're not used very often, the idea of the winch is to be able to pull something big out of the lock chamber if it were to break down and have a mechanical problem. Because you must understand that if you plug one lock, you'll plug the whole canal. Everything has to get through the lock to get through the canal. We talked, when we left for the trip, we talked about the fact that this is almost a brand new lock facility. So it's got nice new features, and the deckhands are using the cable slides that you see over here on our right side. They're built in the pockets of the lock walls. It's a nice new feature. The old lock only had those blue and yellow mooring pins that are marked by post on the lock wall. And that would have been a bit more difficult than using the cable slides.
Well, I was on the end before, now I can't.
Well, what's happening here is that the lock operator is waiting for the water to come in all the way up and release the pressure on the doors. The doors have water pressure on them because the water level in the lock has not yet come up far enough to match the water level of the canal outside. But once it does, the doors will crack open by themselves. And let's look. I guess it's happening now. Yep, the doors are starting to crack open. Tim, the lock operator, sees that, and so now he's going in to open it up with the machinery and let us out of here. You know, every time it rains, the water level changes elevation by a few inches. And to make sure that there's no water pressure on the doors when he goes to open them up,
You can see some water working in, but it wasn't.
he waits until he sees the crack between the doors. Well, folks, that's the end of the trip. We're going to get into the dock area in just a few minutes, make a few maneuvers, and get the boat tied up for you. Once we get inside the dock area, we put a bar line on, and it takes an extra minute or two to get the boat positioned properly and tied up securely so that you can leave safely. Please give us time to do that, and then we'll give you the signal when it's okay to disembark. You picked a nice afternoon for a boat ride, so thank you very much for coming out. Tell all your friends about us, and make sure that you consider coming back again someday.